what it is, and if you don't, pause the video right now. So make sure to come out and come the video and smash that like button, man. Back with another video, man. Back with another boop 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 bang. This time we got Frank Thompson, and Crowny Gambino, man. Part of Trailer Made. If you guys don't know who these guys are right here, you guys will know who they are now. Let's get into this shit. Not waste no time.
Hey, Chill Rock, what the fuck you on, nigga?
And we got a problem here, and I think that is on your end.
Please grant me my wisdom through these arrows I carry. In the morning, all the spirits we bury. If the sun don't rise when that old willow cries for the sacrifice I made in my demise, and them bulls will run.
Her life lost for every sound of the drum. Grandfather, please protect my son. Her life lost for every sound of the drum. Grandfather, please protect my son.
The spirit lifts as the bad moon rises. My old ancestors I confide in. The struggle that's inside him, fighting off these tyrants. The lone wolf stood against the lion, ground covered in footprints. The fire in his eyes, he looks tense. A day-to-day reminder what I could have been. Now these old hollow grounds is paved out and sold to the highest bidder that built the cage that they put us in. We surrounded by some methadone clinics, liquor store on every corner. They invested all in it. I ask myself, how the hell we ain't sinning? How you talk about hell when we in it? Clouds of smoke. Please grant me my wisdom through these.
Hold on. I like what he was saying there. Like, he like, yeah, like, y'all understand, like, there's liquor stores on every corner. Like, everything that's put up in these major cities, bro, is for us to set up for our failure, bro. It's for us to all go against each other. I feel like they gonna speak on how they're different, but they're the same in different ways. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how people be like, yo, we different, but we the same. You know, you might be from the city, he might be from the countryside, but you guys might have similarities that other people might not be able to have, like, with each other in a group. So I think he's going to tell his story of his life, of how it is growing up and having a, as a black man, not be a statistic. You know what I'm saying? Get out of the environment. Don't be a product of your environment. I think that's what he's speaking on. First time I heard this one, hell yeah, this shit fire, fam. Yeah, I like it. The beat like, dun, 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 dun. Hold on, let me get Crowny from the beginning.
Her life lost for every sound of the drum.
Look, he green, he orange.
Please protect my son.
The spirit lifts as the bad moon rises. My old ancestors I confide in. The struggle that's inside him, fighting off these tyrants. The lone wolf stood against the lion, ground.
He said the lone wolf stood against the lion. Like, he stood on his own. He stood up 10 toes against everything that was in his community.
Covered in footprints, the fire in his eyes, he looks tense. A day-to-day reminder what I could have been. Now these old hollow grounds is paved out and sold to the highest bidder that built the cage that they put us in. We surrounded by some methadone clinics, liquor store on every corner. They
surrounded by methadone clinics and liquor stores on every corner. Like, you gotta think about that. There's so many addicts that's out here that's going to the methadone clinic trying to get clean and shit, but some people can never really get off of it. A lot of the times they just go in there for like temporary reasons and shit. They really don't go to get clean, but it's just way more, and you know, they making money off of that shit. They getting money off the addicts, they getting money off the liquor stores. They know when a motherfucker get drunk, they gonna go to the park, they gonna shoot, they gonna have a problem, they gonna want to holler at girls. Anybody, once you get drunk, you're just liable to do anything at that point. You feel where I'm coming from? So yeah, definitely a deep message. And I feel like Frank is gonna have his own perspective of life and trials and tribulations that he had to get through. You know, I just feel Crowny on that level because, you know, I'm in Philly right now and I'm trying to still figure out, maneuver through this shit too, because you can usually get caught up with the wrong crowd thinking that they all cool, and shit could just happen. You know, you don't know who else got problems with people out here.
It all in it. I ask myself, how the hell we ain't sinning? How you talk about hell when we in it? Clouds of smoke. Please grant me my.
And then I like that part. He's like, damn, all this shit is around us, easily to get, bro. How are we not sinning? Like, how are we able to be different from everybody else? Like, how come everybody else got caught up in this environment and they did all the sinning and shit, but we didn't? Like, we could get drinks, we was smoking, we were getting high, we was getting lit, we was getting guns, we was doing all that shit. How come we the ones that made it and the other ones got caught up with the system? Where they're in the ground. They either, you know what I'm saying? You get caught up in prison or you on that ground, man. So the people that you know that you were around and you like, bro, I remember him. He was a cool dude. I didn't think he would be out here killing folks, GTA and shit. You know what I mean? You just wouldn't believe it.
Wisdom through these arrows I carry. In the morning, all the spirits we bury. If the sun don't rise when that old willow cries, for the sacrifice I made in my demise, and them wolves will rise.
Her life lost for every sound of the drum. Grandfather, please protect my son. Her life lost for every sound of the drum. Grandfather, please protect my son. There he goes again, man, that dude with the long hair. Every time I enter in the room, got that long stare. Miss me with the hate and talk on who we let belong here. Back a couple generation nation built on despair. Gone, look at them all, saying I'm faulty or saying it wrong. Look at the way that they're taking the history books, changing it up and they're switching them all on. My monster is shit lost, my confidence in all your politics I stand on honest shit.
Jody Johnson, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you pulling up. Hey, this is a banger.
Hey, shit lost, my confidence in all your politics I stand on honest shit. Like, hey, yeah, why you wanna hate? Yeah, I don't wanna make, yeah, turn at me, you say, yeah, late, yeah, stay, yeah, that's the hell away from me and my no play. Nah, quick to check behaviors, late, yeah.
Please grant me my wisdom through these arrows.
Hold on. So wait, Frank Thompson is Indian? Or he got Indian descendants and shit?
Sound of the drum. Grandfather, please protect my son. Her life lost for every sound of the drum. Grandfather, please protect my son. There he goes again, man, that dude with the long hair. Every time I enter in the room, got that long stare.
He like, damn. Anytime people see me, the first thing they think is, oh, here come that dude with the long hair. He getting long stares, you know. People don't like to see guys with long hair. Just a lot of people just don't like those type of things. Brazil in here, Brazil, what's going on? Johnny, what's good, gang? You know what I'm saying? So it gets to that point where guys are like, man, you gotta cut that hair, man. You're getting older, you know. This is just, you gotta keep the hair when you was young and shit. But it seems like he's speaking from like his ancestors and like how they used to be back in the day. They used to have the long hair, you know. It symbolized, some people say that symbolizes a lot of strength for people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, they can't be, they're different without their hair. Once they get a cut, they're not the same person anymore, you know. Like some people, their hair is everything. It's their powers.
With the hate and talk on who we let belong here. Back a couple generation nation built on despair. Gone, look at them all, saying I'm faulty or saying it wrong. Look at the way that they're taking the history books, changing it up and they're switching them all on.
He said, look how they taking all the history books and they switching shit up. They mixing shit up. They doing all this other shit behind the scenes. They want you to believe what they want you to think, bro. So they rewriting history to give you a whole different narrative, bro. That's what they do. They do that, especially, bro, I had African American history class. That shit make you want to just hate white folks. But it's like, bro, this is what they're teaching you. And they're saying these things. And, you know, people are pushing their ideology on you more than teaching you the facts of what people are doing or why people do these things. Now, other people, it might be guys that just want to have their natural long hair and their hair is long like that, you know? I truly believe we hold strength in our hair. I believe that. I used to have a nice box hair and all that, and I felt very empowered. But, you know, it took a time where sometimes you have to cut your hair for certain things, jobs, stuff like that. And it's hard, you know, but I understand where he's coming from when people were like dreadlocks and stuff like that. They're like, our ancestors were like this. So that's the reason why we do what we do. Because you'll get to those schools and they're like, yeah, you got to cut your hair. You got the groom. You got to do this. You got to do that. And, you know, and it strips people of something that they was holding on to, you know. And that's why I homeschool my daughter. I know that's right. I know that's right. They was going to be like, we want her hair up or we want it above the shoulders. Like, that's too strict.
My monster is shit lost, my confidence in all your politics.
That even look like him right here.
Switching them all on. My monster is lost, my confidence.
Look, that look like him right over there too. No bullshit. But you see, that's a man right there with pigtails. But if he was to put his hair in pigtails, they'll try to clown him and say that he's a female. But I feel like more guys had certain hairstyles that the girls had back in the day, the ponytails, the braids, the windy braids, and all that. I feel like guys were doing that shit before. And then as, you know, society took on, they tried to make that seem like, hey, as a man, you want your hair cut. And that was all because of guys that were having receding hairlines or that were going bald. And they just wanted other people to be like, hey, if you want to be more like a man, you should cut your hair because you look like a little girl. Like, and that was things that they would tell probably Frank to make him want to cut his hair.
It's in all your politics, I stand on honest shit like, hey, yeah, why you wanna hate? Yeah, I don't wanna make, yeah, turn at me, you say, yeah, lay, yeah, stay, yeah, ask the hell away from me and mine don't play, nah, quick to check behaviors, lay, yeah.
Please grant me my wisdom through these arrows I carry. In the morning, all the spirits we bury. If the sun don't rise when that old willow cries, for the sacrifice I made in my demise, and them wolves will run.
Her life lost for every sound of the drum. Grandfather, please protect my son. Her life lost for every sound of the drum. Grandfather, please protect my son.
Will run.
Yo, stop playing, yo. Frank Thompson, Crowny Gambino, Wolves will run. Smash that like button, subscribe, go over there and check out the channel. Okay, dope. Alright, I see now, RP Juice, man. Now I see. Now when you hear music, you like, man, like they need to do an album together. Hey, yo, Hard Target, any of y'all watching this shit, man, listen. Get an album or get another single track with them on this motherfucker. They cooked that up. They deserve way more views, way more likes on that shit than what they got. But you know what it is, man. It takes time and to grind and get your name up there. They're going to put in some amazing work, bro. And I feel like Crowny and Frank definitely got what it takes. Yo, Kit, what's going on, gang? Appreciate you pulling up to the stream, my guy.
Thanks for watching and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.